One of the most requested topics I receive is about making transitions between tracks with a large BPM difference and making transitions between tracks from different genres. So I will be doing full tutorial videos to show you exactly what you can do, but for now, here's a couple of quick tips. Hey guys, what's going on? It's DJ TLM. You're watching DJ TLM TV. Welcome to Tuesday Tips, and today I have some tips for you about making transitions between tracks with a large BPM difference or switching genres. And sometimes switching genres will also mean you will have a large BPM difference between the two tracks. First of all, I'm going to include a lot of links in the description down below, and you might know those videos already, but if you don't know those videos, make sure you check out those videos because they will give you insight about your options. First of all, how to count music. If you're not familiar with counting music, please check that video. It's about beats, bars, and phrases, and once you understand that terminology, understand what it means, you'll understand the structure of music and of songs, and this will make you feel more comfortable about knowing when you have to make a transition and when you can switch. Second video will explain the difference between making a transition where you actually beat match and mix, or where you drop it on the one. And dropping it on the one is one of your best options if you're switching between tracks that have a large BPM difference, because you don't want to beat match. If you have one track that's 85 BPM and another one is 128, you don't want to solve that by adjusting the tempo. That BPM difference is just too large. So that video, please check that out as well. The third video is don't mix everything, and this really applies to this topic. Still, a lot of DJs feel that they have to make a beat matching transition between every song they play, and this is not the case. Not only if there's a large BPM difference, but also if you're playing tracks within that same BPM range, you don't always have to mix. And in certain situations, it's actually better not to make a mixing transition, but actually dropping it on the one, because it will have more impact, because people, especially if it's a song that they know, will recognize that song from the first beat when it drops. So you want to make sure that they can hear it. If you're doing a mixing transition where you beat match and you slowly bring in that second track, they might not notice that track until the end of your transition. I've seen that happen a million times where I'm making a transition between tracks. I know I'm playing it. Some people in the crowd, like some DJs, they will know, they will hear. The rest of the crowd only hears it when the transition is done and that second track really comes in at full volume. So dropping it on the one will give you that straight wah factor, or whatever you want to call it. So check out those videos. Now, a couple of tips. If you're going to drop it on the one, when you have that large BPM difference, there's a couple of things you can do. You can make edits in advance where you add loops to certain tracks. So I made a video about this, so that link will also be in the description down below. Forgot the name, but I'll show you. I think it's 5 ways you can use loops, something like that. It will show you how you can take a track. I'm going to use the same BPM example now. That's 85 BPM. In the hook of that track, you're going to set a loop, but you're going to set that loop to play not at 85 BPM, but you're going to make sure that loop plays at, for instance, 128 BPM. So when that track is playing, all of a sudden it'll start to loop, but that loop is in that same tempo of the new track that you want to drop. Now, like I said, this might be a little hard to comprehend when I'm saying it. Check the link in the description to see how you can do that. You could do the same thing with effects. And in this case, for instance, if you use an echo, if you have that one track that's playing at 85 BPM, your next track is 128 BPM, you want to put an echo on that track that's playing, the track that's 85 BPM. Now, normally you want the echo to be at the same tempo as the track that's playing. So normally you would play that echo at 85 BPM. In this case, you want the echo to be 128 BPM, sorry. Same tempo as the track that's coming in. So you're playing that track at 85 BPM, and right before you make your transition, you hit that echo. That echo is playing at 128. The new song that comes in is playing at 128. And it sounds like it's actual beat matching mix. All right. Again, I'm going to show you how to do that in a full tutorial if you're not clear what I'm talking about. If you've seen the other video, you have more insight and you probably already understand what I'm talking about. Now, if you're not at all familiar with all those techniques yet, but you still want to have another option, check out special transition tracks. Now, a lot of times DJs will make their own edits and submit those to DJ pools. So a lot of DJ pools will have transition tracks, and those tracks will have a built-in edit where the track plays. Again, same example. You have a track that's 85 BPM. After the first verse and hook, they'll make a special break, and in that break, they will make that tempo go all the way up to maybe 120 or whatever BPM. So you can use that track as a transitioning point from going from one lower tempo to a higher tempo. And a lot of times within that same transition track, after that second verse at a higher tempo, they'll make a transition where they switch back down. Not always, but sometimes they'll do that. And in the description of the song, most of the times it will tell you that it's a transition from one BPM to another. So if you don't know how to do the loop thing and the echo things yet, you can find transition tracks, and those can help you out as well. But check out those videos, knowing how to count music, dropping it on the one. Don't try to mix everything, and use your echoes and edits to prepare yourself for transitions between tracks. And that can really help you out. Now, if you have any questions about this topic, you know where to reach me, DJTLMTV at DJTLM.com. And if you want to share special techniques that you use to switch tracks that have a large BPM difference, join the conversation in the comment section down below. Share that knowledge so other DJs can learn and make their stuff sound better as well. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this info, click that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Share the video, and I will be back on Thursday with some tech news. Peace.